There were tears. It was a scary moment in time. I 100% thought I'd broken my face. Hello friends, good morning. Today we're going to talk about Tretinoin, my skincare journey over the past 6 or so months. I think probably more like 8. I'm using Skin and Me. I will touch on that a little bit, but I more want to talk specifically about Tretinoin because that is the ingredient that is the active thing that has really made a difference to my skin. So why did I originally sign up? Why did I want to try Tretinoin so much? I will tell you. I suffer with melasma, which is hormonal pigmentation. It's not just hyperpigmentation. It's not just sun damage, though 100% I have got sun damage on my face. I get pigmentation that flares up with hormonal changes and sometimes stress. It's crazy. There was a point when we were trying to sell the house a few years ago and my parents were living with us and they were trying to find a house. It was a very stressful time and I had a patch of kind of like a brown skin patch on my hand. I went to see my nail tech and she was doing my nails and I said, this is new. I don't even understand what is happening. I mean, it kind of looks like it would be sun damage, but it's just come from nowhere. And I said, I wonder if it's like what I get on my face. The next time I saw her, everything had settled down, everything had been sorted out and I wasn't as stressed out. It was gone. It was completely gone. And I swear to you, it looked like an age spot. It wasn't like a bruise. It was on the surface of my skin. So it's a very strange thing, but it can kind of ebb and flow. So I just want you to bear that in mind. But I had kind of got to the point where it was so strong that I was ready to have some kind of treatment for it. I went to see someone who correctly told me that lasers may not be good for melasma. If it was just hyperpigmentation, then yes, okay, but it could make it worse. The heat could be a trigger and could actually make it worse. So they decided not to do that. They did then try and sell me a much more expensive treatment, but said that I needed to wait until the winter time. I left a deposit. I was all in. I was going to go ahead because I was starting to feel like it was aging me. It was not something that had ever bothered me. I'd had it for so many years. It was more than 10 years ago when I was pregnant with my son that it appeared on my face. And I had almost like a half a pair of glasses is how I describe it. It started here, it went around here, and it went under my eyes. In videos, people would frequently ask me why I hadn't blended my concealer correctly or tell me that I'd smudged something on my face. I have had people in real life tell me I've got makeup on my face. I've got like a patch here, or I did have a much darker patch here, and people would point it out. Because I had to wait until the winter time, I decided that I would try something else in the meantime. A couple of people had recommended Skin and Me to me, specifically for this reason. Also Domatica. I've never tried that myself, but it's the same kind of system. So basically, you fill out a form online, you send them pictures of yourself, they look at it, someone specifically, like a dermatologist in theory is what we're told, looks at this picture, looks at your quiz from all of your answers, decides what they're going to prescribe you. So Tretinoin is a prescription-only ingredient in the UK, and you can't just go and buy it. It needs to be prescribed. That is what makes Skin and Me valuable. If I could buy it separately and buy all of the other ingredients, I might. But like I say, we'll get into that specifically at the end. I just want to talk about this ingredient and why it's been effective for me. So I did this, I received the doser that they send, and within 6 weeks, I saw results. It was absolutely incredible. I saw fading, and we were talking, it was July time. So I'm at the height of melasma because obviously the sun will also exacerbate this. It was absolutely incredible, the difference that you could see in my skin within 6 weeks, to the point of people who watch my vlogs, because I vlog with no makeup on most of the time, people who watch my vlogs were screen capping recent vlogs versus older vlogs to show me the difference. Because I wasn't talking about it, but people could see a difference in my skin. I do have some before pictures that I took for something completely different that I started using and was completely pointless. In fact, hang on, I'll see if I can find it to tell you what not to buy. This is what I bought. This did absolutely nothing at all. It comes like this. I used it for maybe a couple of months at the beginning of last year. It just does nothing. It does nothing. You have to, because it's not like, I mean, maybe if you just had the very smallest amount, it might do something. But because mine was so much, I don't think I could ever use enough of this product. And truthfully, I don't even know if there's anything in there that would really fade my melasma. Maybe it would work for you, but it did nothing for me. So I do have some before pictures that I'm going to put up on the screen right now, that you can see. It wasn't super dark, but it was quite widespread at this point. It was on my forehead. It had kind of gone down onto my cheeks, and I have a patch here as well. I mean, around here, it had gotten quite dark. And although it's not gone completely now, we're like, what, 8 months in, I'm so happy with how much it's faded. Up here, you can still see it a little. Again, I can see it because I know where it was. I can still see some darkness here. Here. It's there, it's not gone, but it is so reduced. And when I look in the mirror, I just don't see it, which is the main thing for me. I know that for some people it was like, what's the big deal? For some people, they couldn't believe I hadn't done anything about it before. When you see someone else's like problem area or issue that they want to kind of tackle, you're seeing it through the lens of your own insecurities. So I would have quite frequently, I'd have people say, oh my God, your skin is so clear, your skin is so fantastic. And I would be like, what are they talking about? But of course I don't struggle with breakouts. I don't struggle with a lot of acne. And so for someone else, they weren't seeing the discoloration. They were just seeing clear, like breakout free skin. It's all through our own lens. Similar thing to oily versus dry skin. I sometimes look at people who have got completely perfectly non-oily skin and think, oh my God, what I would give for that beautiful dry skin. And then someone with dry skin who's had dry skin their entire life and had to battle, you know, flakiness and all of the irritation and stuff that goes with it, and sometimes sensitivity, looks at someone with oily skin and really wishes that they had more oil. I, at 30, or very almost 36, have embraced that I have oily skin. Currently, I have on my SPF, my moisturizer, and I am happy to go out into the world looking like this. 10 years ago, I would have been absolutely mortified because all of this would have needed to been perfectly matte. So back to Tretinoin. It's a really powerful ingredient. It's very similar to retinol in that it speeds up skin cell turnover. It evens everything out. It's good for acne. It's good for fine lines. It's good for so many different things. But this is over a long period of time. So it's not something that you're going to use for 6 months, cure your problem, and then that's that. It's something that if you start using it, then potentially you're going to use it for the rest of your life. It is supposed to be the most incredible anti-aging ingredient, but some people don't see results for 12 months. So I'm still really at the beginning of my journey with it. But because I did have this pigmentation issue, I actually have seen results in a very short amount of time. I haven't really been looking for results in terms of fine lines. I'm not really expecting results at this point for that, but that's not really why I started using it in the first place. So I'm really happy with it. But if you are looking for that result, then just bear in mind once you start using it, it's not going to be like overnight. This is a long-term plan. It's a long-term journey, and you're just adding something in that is hopefully going to help to get you there. So some of the issues using Tretinoin that I have come across, which is the same as everybody else talks about, the retinoid or the retinol uglies. I actually started using retinol at the very beginning of last year. And then if you remember, I had what we call the bincident, where I filled a wheelie bin full of clay and rocks. And then I tried to move this wheelie bin. All of the clay and rocks threw themselves up at me as the wheels went from underneath the wheelie bin. The clay and rocks hit the bin lid hit my face. It was not attractive. There were tears. It was a scary moment in time. I 100% thought I'd broken my face. It was scary. So I stopped using retinol because I was like, you know, all dinged up. So I had already kind of experienced the retinol uglies, which effectively is as you use the product for the first time and your skin gets used to it, you're going to experience some peeling, some dryness, some flaking. They call it a purge. Everything's coming out of your skin. Everything's coming off your skin. And that's not for everyone. For some people, that's enough to make you like switch off completely. You do it once and you're like, this is terrible. I can't live like this. Because we were in lockdown, because I wasn't using makeup all of the time, it was fine for me. So it was actually perfectly timed because I went through that phase last year when I could just not wear makeup for days on end. So it wasn't really an issue because if you're not wearing makeup, then you can hydrate and moisturize and mask and do whatever it is you want to do to try and soothe those irritated, red, flaky areas of skin. But if you are needing to wear makeup on a daily basis, then that is going to be an issue and you're going to have to plan ahead for that purge phase if you do use something like this or a retinol. I have a few products that I found to be really, really effective for soothing. One of them is quite new. I actually had an experience recently where it kept happening again. I haven't really had that problem since the very beginning of using these kinds of products. I just couldn't understand. It kept getting very red and sore. I even had like a patch around here that was almost eczema-like. It was very strange. And I discovered, after doing some research about tretinoin, I mean, we're so far into it at this point, but at this point I thought there must be something I'm doing wrong. You have to put this on to super, super dry skin. So I am used to getting out of the shower or the bath and going and doing my skincare, or taking off my makeup and immediately doing my skincare. I'll try to leave time in between steps to let the things absorb, but I will put on my first step of my skincare as soon as I've taken off my makeup or got out of the bath or the shower. And that is not something that is going to work for these kinds of products. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it absorbs quicker into your skin that way, because that is effectively why usually it's great to do that on damp skin. But it made me so irritated and so peely and dry over November, December time. And that was 100% of the reason why, because I was applying it to still damp or not 100% dry skin. So absolutely, number one, as soon as you start using this, make sure that you've waited, I'd say at least 10 minutes after bathing or after washing your face before you put on your tretinoin or retinol. Already then you are avoiding some of the problems that I had. And then these three products are really, really great for soothing if you do find that you have an issue, or even just to moisturise in general. The Dr. Jart Ceramidin Cream, a moisture retention shield. I really like anything that's called a ceramide cream is going to be really soothing. I really like the Pixie Ceramide Cream. I picked this up recently because I wanted to try another one. I like them both. I would say that the Pixie is lighter. If you want something that's going to feel very quickly absorbed for a daily moisturiser, that would be my pick. If you want something because your skin is feeling irritated and you think you need to feel soothed, I would choose this because it leaves behind a residue. It's a little bit thicker. I don't have the other to show you, but the other is very like, it's just kind of, it's a very, very lightweight moisturiser. Whereas this, you can see even just on my finger, it's thick. It's like, it's got a thickness to it. And it leaves a residue. Well, the backs of my hands have never been so moisturised. Since I've been using all of these products, I go face, neck, chest, backs of the hands, not with the tretinoin, but everything else. So this is really great for that. Another thing, if you are suffering with some redness and irritation, that is absolutely amazing, is the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast. As you can see, I've cut this open because I needed the very last bits of it out very recently. I'd got such dryness around my nose and here, which avoid. If you can avoid putting any kind of retinol here, you want it to go kind of nowhere where it can go into creases. Around here, avoid around your nose and avoid this area. Definitely avoid under your eyes as well. Although there are some eye creams with retinols in them, I know that some people have found that they can be irritating. You know, each to their own. If you can get away with putting it under there, go for it. But I found that I get a lot of redness and dryness if I put it anywhere near my eyes. And then if I want something super nourishing, I really, really like this Bobbi Brown Nourish Mask. This has been something that I've repurchased again and again because if I do have, and this was pre-tretinoin, but if I do have that kind of very dry, very irritated skin, and I feel like I need just a real surge of moisture, this has been something that has really helped to bring the hydration back to my skin. Something else that's super important if you are using these kind of products is SPF. So because you are encouraging cell turnover and your skin is kind of new all of the time, it's making it a lot more susceptible to sun damage. It's a lot more sensitive, and so you need to be wearing SPF every single day. Some of these products I've talked about in the past. I don't have all the SPFs that I've liked to use because I don't like to have too many at once. They've only got a shelf life of a few months and it feels wasteful to have tons and tons of them. Some of these I've purchased and repurchased. The I never know what this is called, a Pew. This one I really, really like for underneath makeup. It's difficult to find an SPF that works well with makeup, but this is one of them. But they can be difficult to find in the UK. I think I got this from Yes Style, and I had a few of them, and so unopened, they were fine. But as soon as you open them, I think it's only like a 6 month. Can't keep using them for a long, long time because they do lose efficacy. 6 months. This one tells me 6 months. This is another really nice light one. This was sent to me. It's quite expensive. It's the Hyaloo B5 Aqua Gel, and this is just SPF 30. Let me just show you what it looks like, because it's unusual for an SPF. If you do struggle with SPFs breaking you out, or SPFs feeling kind of too heavy, this is very, very lightweight. I really, really like the Aven Cleanance ones because, again, if you struggle with SPF breaking you out, this actually is from the range from Aven that is for breakout prone skin. So this is going to be great for you if you do find that that's a problem. And then lastly, this is controversial because it is an SPF and a moisturizer in one. This is the second one of these that I've bought. To be quite honest with you, it's my favourite one. I know SPF in moisturizer is not going to be as effective, but 9 times out of 10 I am home, inside, I'm not doing that much, I'm not actually leaving the house all that much, and I'm not sitting by a window. I realise that it's everywhere, I know, but for me, as someone who didn't used to wear SPF every single day, I am still in that phase of better this than nothing, and this still feels like a moisturiser. It doesn't feel like I'm applying something, especially in the wintertime. I know I'm supposed to do this, but I do sometimes need a little bit of encouragement. And so this has been something I've leaned on. The Revitalift from L'Oreal, and this has got SPF 50 in it. But bear in mind that if I was actually going to be out, I would use a proper SPF. Lastly, I have to avoid all of the things I love while I'm using Tretinoin or Retinol. Now, if I know I'm going to want to use one of these products, I will have a few days off my Skin and Me doser because I love this stuff so much. So the Glow Tonic from Pixi obviously was an all-time fave. I can't use that right now because it's too sensitive. It's basically, I don't need it, but I miss that squeaky clean exfoliated feeling. It's an addiction. There have been articles written about it. It's actually a very, very short-lived feeling, that glowy, just exfoliated feeling. People become addicted to it, and I am there. So I really love the Glow Tonic still for my body. I use it in a spray bottle on my chest, my arms and my back because I used to have acne in those areas as a teenager, and so my skin, I'm still very prone to texture there, and I'm very aware of the smoothness. It's a bit of a thing for me. So I really still do like the Glow Tonic for that reason, but I don't use it on my face anymore. Something else that I used to really like was the Sleep Power Recharge Mask from This Works. This, again, is kind of like a chemical exfoliant. It's not gritty, but it's just strips away the top layer and it makes you feel so squeaky clean, and it gives you that beautiful just exfoliated glow, which again I realise is a temporary feeling. And the last thing is the Elemis Papaya Enzyme Peel. Love it so much. Can't use any of these products while I'm using Tretinoin. If I do, I will be red and irritated immediately. For cleanser, I'm just using whatever cleanser I've got. I'm not using anything special, and I am tending to use this as my regular evening moisturizer if you're interested. And that is everything that I wanted to tell you about Tretinoin specifically. Now I want to just touch on Skin and Me, that service, and how I'm feeling about it. So this is it must be my 8th. I've just got my 9th, I think, in the post, which made me think of it today. Basically, how it works is you get your doser. This is what it's called. It comes in, it's about this tall. In fact, I'll open it up for you so you can see how it comes. Right, so this is how it comes in the post. You open it up. It says, "Hi, Michaela. We're on a mission to say goodbye to your dark spots or pigmentation." And then it tells me how to contact them. And then there's my doser inside. It also says your priority skin goal, say goodbye to dark spots and pigmentation. This month's active ingredients, tells me what it is. And the actual ingredients inside do tend to increase. My ingredients right now are Tretinoin 0.015%, niacinamide 4%, and azelaic acid 4%. The niacinamide and the azelaic acid have stayed at the same dose, but the Tretinoin I think started at like 0.4%. Or 0.04%, whatever it is, and then we've got to 15 now. So this is what it looks like when you first get it, and this is the one that I'm almost done with. How it works is you twist it up and you've got your amount that you need to use for your face. This is what you use in the evening. It does also recommend certain products to be used as your cleanser and your moisturizer if you want to use their suggestions. But basically you need to keep your skincare fairly simple outside of the daily doser. So this is your one-stop product. This is your active skincare, and beyond this you just need to cleanse and moisturize with something really simple. I think if you're someone who finds skincare quite daunting, all of the different ingredients and what do they all do and am I doing this correctly? Should I be using these things together? This is actually fantastic. I am one of those people. I'm missing playing with skincare. I'm missing different masks and different treatments because I can't really use extra things alongside this in case they don't play well together, especially because most of the extra things that I wanted to play with were exfoliants and like something that was supposed to smooth. All of that stuff has been kind of taken out of my routine, which kind of sucks. I do miss it, but at the same time, if I consistently use this, I know that my skin will get better and better and better. I've watched so many videos on YouTube of people who have used Tretinoin for years and their skin improves over time instead of the opposite way around. It's getting, like, texture is improving, fine lines are improving, and they're finding that 10 years later their skin is better at 35 than it was at 25. And from what I can tell, the earlier you start using Tretinoin and Retinol, the better. It can also help with acne. I've actually, because I was so happy with mine, I actually signed up to Skin and Me for my daughter as well, who does struggle with acne, and she has tried everything. Bear in mind, I have been sent a lot of skincare over the years. She has had access to skincare I would never in a million years have purchased for her. Skincare that I've never even mentioned to you guys because it's not relevant to me, but it was just sent without any kind of correspondence. And I said to her, well, do you want to try this? Stuff from Glam Glow, stuff from La Roche-Posay, stuff from, all manner of different brands. Some things have been better than others. She's been super consistent. She knows more about skincare than I do. She's watched every single video that there is to watch about acne. So she really knows a lot about ingredients. And this is the best her skin has ever been. And so every 4 weeks she gets her doser. She's got her nighttime skincare sorted. She's got her cleanser and her basic moisturizer outside of that, and that's done. I've just had my email asking me to check in because they want to see pictures. They want to see how my skin is getting on. They want to see whether or not my dose needs to be changed or whether or not maybe my skin issues are slightly different now. At any point, if you feel like it's not right, if you think that this is maybe too irritating or this isn't really the right thing for me, you can email them and they'll change your dose, or they'll give you a completely different prescription if you think it's just there's an ingredient in here that's not agreeing with you. You do have that customer service. I want to be totally clear, I have never been contacted by Skin & Me and I'm not being paid to talk about it. I do pay for my doses, although lots and lots of people have used my code, and so I've got little bits of credit here and there. But I'm also paying for a second dose of referral, so I really, really do rate it. But more than that, if you are in a different area or you want to use a different service like Domatica, Tretinoin is a little bit magical. You need to get through the difficulty of that original phase, that like initial purge time, but it's 100% worth it, especially if you've got pigmentation. I can't recommend it enough. And I really can't wait to see what results I see in the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months, years. Although I'm missing my playing with skincare, I'm too happy with this ingredient to not feel like I'm going to use it like indefinitely. So I hope this was useful for those of you who were maybe wondering about these kind of services, about prescription skincare and about Tretinoin specifically. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'll try and answer them in the comments, or I'll do a follow-up at some point. I mean, definitely I will do a follow-up to show you results down the line. I think possibly today I might try and take some actual pictures just to track progress, because I'm not sure whether or not I've actually got any up-close pictures of before I started doing it, purely because I wasn't expecting to see the results that I got. If I thought it was going to be magic, I would have taken those before pictures, but I was so skeptical. I've tried so many skincare things in the past to try and fade this. I've spent a lot of money on skincare products that have not done anything. And although I still think at some point I'm going to have a little bit of Botox just there, I feel so much better about my overall skin. I can't tell you.